We're out here today visiting with resident Earl Kennedy in his shop where he has some fascinating vehicles that we want to show you today on Hot Wheels. Never have we seen anything like this on the program. Earl, thanks for inviting us out and showing us your fine World War II military vehicles. Where did you come about finding these, and tell us a little bit about what you've done with them?
One day I was kind of surfing the internet and I seen a 1943 World War II Jeep. And I said, boy, I like that. That really looks nice. It was in a showroom in southern Georgia, in a Chrysler dealership showroom. They had a telephone number, so I called it up. I had a little time, and I called it up. I ended up buying this thing, and 1943 Ford Jeep. It had nothing on it, but the body was in excellent shape. So I bought it. I had it for about a year and a half, and I decided it needed a partner. So then I found this one, and this is a 1945 Willys, and I found it locally out of a body shop right over here about a mile over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I belonged to a World War II veteran, actually. So I had to stage it also, and you can find these old parts. Some of them are remanufactured, but you can find original. I bought a lot of things on eBay, but believe me, even the bags, quite expensive now. These are ammo belts hanging on the seat. These ammo belts right here, very hard to find, very expensive. This, do you know what this is?
Oh, wow, yeah.
This is an old original siren. This is an original World War II helmet. This is an original canteen. This is a bag used to carry equipment in. Notice canvas, case, and it still has the name of the man who had this bag in the Army. So his family or someone must have gotten rid of it. This is one of their sea rations, one of their rations they used, military rations. Old original shovel. And this is really interesting here. This is a collapsible bucket. They needed to save space for all their equipment. But that's what that is. And I found that on eBay. Not too many of those around. I suppose that's a scarce item. World War II grenade, pineapple grenade. One of the hardest things to find was the radio. I found the radios in Ohio, and I asked a gentleman, how many do you have? He said two sets with all the equipment. That means the antenna, that means the microphone.
They don't turn on at all anymore,
Well, yeah, well, they will work, but I've had this thing converted to a 12-volt system, so it starts better. The 6-volt was lower cranking, and
Sure.
And since you don't drive them every day, so I converted it. And then I had the machine guns and everything made. I found a place that makes those. And then I have the trailer, and I have various pieces of equipment on the trailer, like an old World War II, original old World War II caliber 30 ammo box. This is an old World War II, very heavy telephone set. Telephone radio set. It's an old original telephone. All the World War II guys will remember these leggings. Very interesting.
Well, let's go take a look over here now at your other Jeep, Earl. Now this one's actually older than this one.
Yes. Yes. This is the 1943 Ford. It has a 30 caliber machine gun on it, whereas the other one has a 50 caliber on it. This is the one I got in southern Georgia, found in a showroom. Excellent body, just excellent. These are old brown boots. You know, they call it the brown boot army. These are original brown boots. I don't know where I found them.
Wow.
And then I have some World War II jackets and different things. I have bags on there. These are it's a new case, but these are original World War II binoculars. So these are things that I found on eBay and various locations. But
I can tell you've put a lot of work into this and a lot of thought in how you put it all together. And you were telling me you even put a new engine in this one.
this one's got a brand new engine, actually a Ford Jeep with a Willys engine. And everything's interchangeable on these. They were all made under the same plans. But mechanics love to work on them. When I take this thing to a mechanic, and I have a couple mechanics that, you know.
They like to see you come.
Oh, they love it. They say, I love to work on these Jeeps, Mr. Kennedy. They don't even want to charge me any money sometimes. Yeah.
Well, let's take it for a ride. Let's see how it drives.
Okay. This is a 1943 Ford. This vehicle was totally restored body-wise. Very nice shape. And the only thing I had to do to it was put the various striping on it. I had to put the top on it, and then I bought some World War II things, and obviously I put the machine gun on it. It's a 30 caliber machine gun, but what they would do in World War II is they would drop the windshield, drop the top, and then disconnect the machine gun, and they could fire in all directions. Wow. It was more for protection than really fighting. The CIB plate is actually the combat infantry badge, and the combat infantry badge is only awarded to people who actually fight on the ground in combat, hand-to-hand, close. And some states had them, and I learned when I was the national commander of the Combat Infantrymen's Association that they did not have one in Florida. So at that time I was a national commander, and I had some help. So I organized a couple other guys, and we actually went to see Governor Scott. He had just gotten elected.
Oh, okay.
And we made it through. We got the CIB plate. The vote was 100% for in the legislature.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, since you got these Jeeps and you started the restoration and everything you've put into them, staging them, has it given you a different insight? And I know you've always had a great appreciation for our guys that fought back in those days, and you being in the service also. Does it give you a different perspective?
I'll tell you what it does. It makes you reflect on your history. And I was raised, my parents were World War II, and they were very hard workers. They took good care of everything. They were proud of what they owned, and they set a great example for my sister and I. And so I've always had such a respect for World War II, and to even know that there are still World War II veterans with us. When I get an opportunity to speak with World War II veterans, I do, and they tell me so many different stories. They were the ones who saved the world, the World War II veterans. And that's what it does to me. I'm always thinking when I drive this thing, gee, they drove these things all the way through Europe. They drove these things all over the Pacific. They hauled all their equipment on them, and they won the war. You know?
Well, Mr. Kennedy, I want to thank you so very much for giving us the tour on Hot Wheels today of your Jeeps and your fabulous work you've done to stage these and to make them look so great, and for sharing everything with us today.
Well, it's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed it. and perhaps some people might get some other enjoyment out of it. I
Yeah,
hope.
I'm sure a lot of people would like to see these, and thanks for showing them to us, and check back with us next time as we bring you some more vehicles from Shell Point residents.